Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Pele Yoetz. We are still on letter Aleph. We are now on chapter 5. This chapter is considerably shorter than the previous chapters, which was really like a sock in the head. It was really difficult to do that one because of the how close to home it hit. So thankfully we're on to other things. And this one is something that really is a problem in our generation. It's the love of Torah scholars and God-fearing men and noblemen. And it states that the love of Torah scholars, God-fearing men and noblemen also emanates from the love of God. A faithful lover of a specific person also loves his children and the members of his household. Meaning that if you truly love Hashem, then you love his servants. You love the people. You love his children. You love the people that really do his business. And it says that additionally, since he has a passionate love for his beloved and seeks his good with all of his person and his possession, whoever benefits and is a source of satisfaction to his beloved, he loves him as well. So, meaning that if you love Hashem, you love his servants. But in turn, because you love his servants and you love his children, Hashem in turn, bestows love upon you and favor to you as well. So this really applies, in many different ways, but it comes down to the same thing. It comes down, whether you're supporting Torah scholars, those who are teaching you, if you're supporting them, whether it's financially or whether it's like through your time by donating. If you're going into the shul, you're helping out to make sure that the shul is ready. Things are ready for minyan. If it's wintertime, you're going in, the shul is warm. So the people are not cold, they're ready to go. These things are very, very much beloved in Hashem's eyes, and there's a great reward for this. It says, furthermore, we have already said that the logic dictates to love a gifted man who is perfect in character and intelligence by whomever is gifted or shares his love of perfection, even if he is not at the same level. Behold, for all of these reasons, it is proper to enhance one's love for Torah scholars, God-fearing people, and noble people, and they should be cherished like the apple of his eye. His reward is prescribed by the sages in Shabbat 23b. Someone who loves Torah scholars will have sons who are Torah scholars as well. That in itself should be motivation enough to really show kavod to Torah scholars. So it says the focus of this love is in the heart, but it must also be evident in actions. So it's not enough just to say, oh, I love, we hear this all the time. I love Harav so-and-so. I love Harav so-and-so. But do you ever give to Harav? Do you ever donate your time? If he has need of you, are you available to him? So all things to ask yourself. So it says, if God bestows wealth upon an individual, he must support Torah scholars with all of his soul and possessions. He should be a doer and encourage others to do as well. If he does not have material means to help him, he should at least assist them physically. Great is the service in whatever capacity possible. So, this is one of those things that I think, wealthy people, they're given wealth, really, and, a lot of times it's as Shem does this as a test, right? What are you going to do with this wealth? Because really a portion of what Hashem has given you is also that there's a portion that's allocated, which is why Hashem says, give me 10%. I mean, no other boss that you work for, he says, I'm going to pay you like all this, and all you have to do is pay out 10%. I'm going to give you all this reward and everything like that. But a portion of that money, that 10%, is really allocated. It's money for Torah scholars, is money for things that really spread the word of Torah around. And when we're withholding that, it is almost as if we're, not almost, I'll be blunt and blatant to say it, we're stealing from Hashem, essentially. But if you don't have it, don't think, oh my gosh, Devorah Esther said I'm stealing from Hashem. If you don't have it, there's other ways to give, and that is your time and your energy, everyone according to what he has. No one can come to Hashem empty-handed. There's this, it's a beautiful thing that was said during Passover, No one comes to Hashem empty-handed, but everyone comes according to what he gives. So in other words, you can't give what Hashem hasn't given you. If you don't have it, you don't have it. But what you do have is your time. Okay, so if you have knowledge, but you don't have money, this is the time where you want to be exercising what you have. Another thing is that there's a great thing. Hashem is really a great zivug, and there's a great thing that Hashem does. So let's say you don't have money, but you have the desire to give, and so it's not a perfect thing. But on the flip side, there are people who have money, but they don't have the proper intention when they give. So that's also an incomplete mitzvah. So what happens is that part and your part come together, and they form a complete mitzvah. And this is the beauty of Hashem, that Hashem is always looking for ways to benefit us. So really come with whatever you have, whatever with Hashem has given you, and he always gives more. Because when he sees that you're faithful to what he's given, he continues to give more. So it continues on. It says it should be done. It should be done in such a way that they are free from worries and as such capable of maintaining their diligence in the study of Torah and performance of the divine service. Greater is the one who causes others to contribute, and we will write more about this later on. It is unnecessary to mention that one must be careful not to anguish the Torah scholar, and that no Torah scholar should have any complaint against him. The Tanakh has already warned us in Avot de Rebbe Natan 15, warm yourself opposite their light, but be cautious of their hot coals so you do not get burned. This is also another problem that really plagues our generation, and it's the lack of kavod given to the Reinim or to anyone. Whenever you have anyone who has more Torah knowledge than yourself, for sure you should be giving them kavod. And this is one of the things. But I think there's this this very relaxed behavior, this very laissez-faire attitude. Sometimes you see people speaking to the Rav, and they're like, hey, what up? What's going on? Hi, it's like he's not your buddy. You're not going out to play ball, right? This is a Rav. This is a servant of Hashem. And what I've learned is that when you're speaking to a Rav, usually it's in like this third person kind of thing. How is the Rav? Can I get the Rav something? So it's something that it takes some practice. Also, when you have a Rav, when you have a Torah scholar come into the room, always stand up. Always stand up. You give proper kavod. Never sit in his seat. These are all things. Again, Derek Eretz, proper manner. But again, sometimes we lack this because a lot of us are not growing up in yeshivas, so we lack this kind of common decency in the way of behavior, and unfortunately this is becoming more and more. So something to look out for. So it continues on. It says, if so great is the obligation of the love for Torah scholars who are not his relatives, even though everyone is considered like a relative to him, how much more so if the Torah scholar is blood relation? One is obligated to love him more, and there is a great responsibility on his brothers and cousins to support him honorably, that he should be able to sustain his industriousness in Torah, study, and divine service. This shall be for them a source of praise, reputation, and glory. They honor their father because he has contentment from his son, who is a Torah scholar, and they will receive their portion. This is the choicest dividend from all man's labor. As a result, he performs an act of kindness for both the living and the dead. Fortunate are both the man who does this and the person who supports it. It is a tree of life to those who embrace it, and those who support it are fortunate. Mishlei 3:18. Okay, so this is a great thing too. Many of us, especially if you're coming from a family that's, probably has a Bali Tshuva or something of that nature, and one of them is going to yeshiva. It really should be the responsibility of the family to make sure that, how is he doing? Is he doing great? Does he need money? What do you need? You need something for Shabbos? Your kids are getting married? What do you need? And in doing this, you also share a portion of that person's learning, and you give honor both to your family, especially your parents, whether they are in this world or in Olam Haba. It gives them great pleasure. It gives their neshama great nachas, and it gives them an aliyah. So this is a great thing. So if you don't have time to sit in yeshiva and learn all day, then certainly support someone who can. And in this, you will reap a benefit from this. So again, a beautiful thing that Hashem is doing. You desire to do something, but you lack the ability to do it. And Hashem provides a way that still you get a reward for this. So it says, nevertheless, just because a person provides the needs of a Torah scholar, he should not treat him flippantly, ch5-Shalom, nor should he consider himself as one who has done a gracious act by providing and feeding him. For the Torah scholar's portion are embedded in the property of the provider. So again, this goes back to saying that this, the portion of your money that Hashem is bestowed upon you, because again, remember, we already taught that Parnasa is from Hashem. So, a portion of what Hashem has given you is to support people such as these. But in doing so, don't think you're holier than thou and that you've suddenly bought the rabbi or the Talmid Chacham in your family. That is not so. Okay. Remember, you're only giving back that which Hashem is already allocated to that person anyway, because everything that everyone's going to get is all decided by Hashem. And you just happen to be the shliach in order that Hashem should give you the reward, because you're not the one sitting in the Beit, I said Beit, I was going to say Beit HaMikdash. I wish. So, but you're not the one that's sitting in the yeshiva learning all day. He is, but you need some zechus. So in order to do that, he makes you the shliach by giving you the money that's really due to him anyway. I mean, he could have just had the Talmid Chacham walking down the street and found a bag of money, but he decided, you need the zechus, I'm going to give it to you, so donate. So it says that as our sages commented on the verse in Yilchu Shimoni Shemot, the poor man with you, the provider, is merely acting as an agent of God. Not only that, but more than a rich man does for the poor man does for the rich man. So we already explained this concept. So it says, for result of his giving, he merits olam, the world that is totally good. As our sages noted in the verse of Ruth 2:19, the man that I have done for him today, Boaz. Therefore, one must honor a Torah scholar, and Torah scholars must also honor their well-to-do brothers who assist them and support them. For our sages said that the Rebbe and Rabbi Akiva would honor wealthy men, and even though they had no need of them, all the more so someone who does not require and benefit from them. He has an obligation not to be unappreciative, to honor them to some degree, and to make an effort to provide them with some satisfaction. He should display exceptional affection to them and guide them upon the proper path of good deeds with pleasant speech and caring language, for open reproof is better than a concealed love. The Torah scholar must share in their tragedies and always pray for them, that they should be successful in everything they do through all the Torah and good deeds, and the Torah scholars must advocate on their behalf as well. This and other similar things the wise man should hear and add teachings of his own, such that he will find favor and good intelligence in the eyes of God and man. So now this is like a two-way street. So just as the person who gives should not feel that he has purchased the rabbi ch5-Shalom, or the Torah scholar, which could just be the student of yeshiva, this comes vice versa. Then what Rabbi Papo is saying, that if you're being supported by people when they come to you and they have a problem, you have to have some kind of compassion, right? And you kind of have to, at least, maybe you yourself can't physically do something, but you have the ear of the Almighty. So it is your responsibility at that point to try it. And of course you cannot bring, there's these people are human too. They cannot do everything for everyone. But they must at least be compassionate to the public, because these people are supporting them. And again, Hashem is making that zivug. So they have to show some kind of compassion and at least beseech Hashem on their behalf, because this is a two-way street. So this is like, again, a big issue in our generation. We just lack the understanding as to the proper kavod. But I think in general, I think there's this big lack of compassion towards one another, which of course is the reason why the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed, and the reason why Mashiach has not come, and redeemed us. So we have to get this under control, and really just check the ego at the door and realize that Hashem is the one that is putting everything together, including what money we're going to make and where we're going to get it from. But remember that he's also, if you have the money, he's looking to you to give you a zechus, right? And if you're getting the money, you have to also realize that there's a need to be compassion and help. Everyone has to do according to their level. And again, maybe they can help in physically, if they have the money, but the Torah scholars have an obligation to help in the spiritual. And that includes, trying to give them a little musar, whatever it is. So that's it for today. I told you it was very short. And hopefully we'll all be together again soon. Bezrat Hashem.